Hey there, quilter bees. It's Mitzi from Jittery Quilt Company, and today's video is designed to teach you how to lay out your All the Good quilt. I want to walk you through making your flying geese, how to put your flying geese and your small rectangles together, and then how to use your half square triangles to lay out the whole quilt and balance it out with your nucleus, okay? So first off, let's talk about when you match your half square triangle colors together. So you can see here with my little pointer, I put my colors not in rainbow order for this particular quilt, but more lighter colors to darker colors, so that when I matched my half square triangles, I had lights and lights that progressed to a little bit darker, and then they got darker. They got darker here, they get darker here and here, okay? So you're gonna lay out all of your A1s and all of your A2s. And when you match them, if you want it to have light in the center and get darker to the edges, which is kind of the random version in the pattern, then what you're going to do is match light to light, and you're going to keep going so that the longer you match, the darker they get, okay? So that is the first step in making sure that your final quilt feels good and has some really good contrast and value differences from light to dark to them. That's the first step. The second step is with your little flying geese. So you're going to do the same thing with the flying geese, but you don't have to be quite so intentional or I don't know what the word is, grounded in that. You can play around a little bit. You can do some additional mixes and matches there. But your flying geese are going to be the same. You're going to end up with 4 flying geese of every color combination. So you do want to mix it up a little. And you also want both sides of your flying geese to be the same color, which is exactly how it's written in the pattern. So if you follow the pattern, you'll be fine there, okay? Once you get all of your flying geese and your half square triangles made and trimmed, please trim them. It's super important for the end result of the quilt for you to trim them. Then we need to lay out the quilt. And so here, let's start with the layout process. First, the nucleus, okay? If you divide the quilt in quarters, straight down the middle and straight across, so you're going to do that to your design area. I strongly recommend that you have a white space, preferably up on a wall if you need it, but if you can't get it up on a wall, that's okay. Lay a white sheet or blanket or something on your bed, on like a guest bed or on the floor where maybe you don't have pets that are going to mess it up, but it'll be really helpful for you to have a white space to do that on. So you're going to divide your design area. You're going to quarter it right up the center and horizontally, okay? The nucleus is found in the bottom corner, bottom inside corner of the top quadrant of the design wall. So my nucleus is right here. Here's my divider. Here's my divider. This is where my nucleus starts. And you can see I have this little diamond feel that starts right here, and then it radiates out from there, okay? So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to find the nucleus. Now, you can either put your lightest fabrics in the nucleus or your darkest fabrics in the nucleus. If you are doing a rainbow version, whatever color you want to start with, let's say red for Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. If you want to start with red, Then your reds go in the nucleus, and you would work your way out. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet would be down here, okay? So we're going to start in the nucleus. I like to have 2 or 3 half square triangles that help me set the tone for the diamond. So notice that your half square triangles, if I kind of work my way around, are creating this diamond feel that just keeps going and going and going, okay? That is an important design control in this pattern. Controlled improv, that is a design control. What that does is it helps your brain know where to look when it sees the quilt for the first time. Your brain goes swoop right there to the nucleus. It's lighter or darker. It's a particular color that runs down, and the diamonds are pointing you that way, okay? The next control is how you lay out your flying geese and your little your little rectangles. They're not halves, they're rectangles, okay? You want to keep them in sets of 4. So I'm going to have 4 in a row. They're all 2 inches by 4 inches finished, right? But I'm going to create a pattern inside of the 4. So first control is 4 of them. Second control is pattern. The pattern is either a flying geese, a rectangle, flying geese, flying geese. So you have 3-to-1 ratio. Or, let me find one right here, rectangle, flying geese, rectangle, rectangle. Okay, still a pattern, still 4, still 1, 1, 2, or 2, 1, 1, something like that. Okay, but those are your 2 options, and you want to mix and match that so at the end you don't have only rectangles or only flying geese left. You want to mix and match that. So that's the second control, the pattern, the repeat of it, the rhythm, the 1, 1, 2, or 2, 1, 1. The next control, and this is a really important one. I have seen a lot of layouts of all the good quilts that feel chaotic because this one control wasn't followed. And that is that all of the flying geese point the same direction. They all point to the right. This is critical because that is in opposition in the design to the half square triangles. The half square triangles are creating a diamond. If your flying geese are turned different directions, then your brain is trying to process diamond and which way do these things go, right? And it will feel chaotic, it'll feel off. And if you have yours there and you're struggling, that's the first thing I would check. One flying goose in the wrong direction will throw your brain off and make it feel weird. So all of your flying geese are pointing in the same direction. Okay, that's the next control. Now we want some balance in here. So what we're going to do to get balance is not stack our flying geese 4 sets on top of each other. We're alternating them. Some of them are completely apart from each other. Some of them maybe overlap only 2 blocks, but then down here, they don't. Okay, that's really important. The last thing I'll say about the layout is that you want to try to not do more than 3 of the same side, like the same fabric of a half square triangle together in a row. It creates way too much of a line that pulls it together. So up here, this is kind of darker here. It's got this like red, but there's 2 and then a break and then 1 and then a break, okay? And that's also intentional. If I did too much of that, you would see that line before you would see the whole layout. And the goal for a controlled improv quilt is to see the whole layout, all right? So that is how you lay out the quilt. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything I want to say. And I did. So one of the other pieces is, I know I said 4 here, but when you get to the edge, you just imagine that the quilt continues on and there would be 2 here, and you just let that happen. Same with the half square triangles. You just imagine that it would move on. This is a half 2, this is a full, this is a half. So it's not all halves. Some of them are full sets of 4, but it is okay for you to have some halves on the side, okay? And then you're just gonna keep getting darker or follow your Roy G. Biv all the way to the corners. You wanna usually have a little more dark at the bottom than at the top because the nucleus is coming this way. It's really easy to just kind of start here and then work your way down, but make sure you're working in a circle. Just lost my glasses. Make sure you're working in a circle so that you don't get off balance, right? You want to make sure that it's on balance and that you're this kind of weights it down here to have it a little darker at the bottom. All right. Okay, that is it for the design layout for an All the Good quilt. If you have questions about how to lay this out, I do have a hive. It's hive.jitterywingsquiltco.com. There are 2 options inside of that hive. One is just fun show and tell, right? It's free. There are announcements there. You can show and tell. You can get hoorahs and cheers for your work inside of show and tell. It's a great place to just build community. The other option for the Hive is what I call Hive Plus, and that is a monthly subscription where you get access to me, you get access to feedback. It kind of functions just like posting on Facebook. Like you create a post and people can comment, you can put pictures. So you can post pictures of your layouts. You can post pictures of your fabric pulls and say, help, or how does this look? Or I'm really proud of this one, y'all. And myself and others in the group will respond and be helpful. That's like literally the point. The other thing that happens in the Hive, in addition to the feedback pieces, are that we do lives every month, and I come in and do something special. For 2026, we are working on controlled improv guided practice, where we use little papers, use paper and little fabric pieces. I give you the controls, and then during the live together, we use a glue stick, and it's low pressure, low commitment, huge impact, learning impact that you can participate in. So if you'd like more information about that, I'll drop that down in the description for you. But please reach out. It's important to me that folks feel supported and helped, and just want to make sure that we're there for you. So thanks for being here. If you appreciated this video, I'd love for you to leave a comment or a like, hit subscribe, all the things that help Jittery Wings, more people find Jittery Wings. It's an easy thing for you to do, and show some love. Thanks for being here. Bye.